customer call. Okay, so let's come on to my next multimodal demo. So we are moving away from voice and we're now talking about vision. So ChatGPT has the ability to analyze images and then it's able to provide clear text-based summaries. Again, sticking with the theme of planning this offsite, what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload an image from a whiteboard session that we had at this offsite that outlines a retrospective. To do that, I go to Attach Files. I upload the image I want ChatGPT to analyze, and then I'm going to add in a very basic prompt. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to summarize this image. Just to expand, this is what the image looks like. There is a lot of text, and really I'm trying to get ChatGPT to tell me what is happening in this image and to almost list it out. And there you can see that ChatGPT has done a really great job of identifying what is in this image and then pulling out the text. This is quite a basic example of how to use vision. But again, what are you doing in your day-to-day that would allow you to use ChatGPT in this way? Are you also creating whiteboard images? Are you analyzing really complex diagrams? What is it that you're doing that maybe you could replicate in a similar way to what I've just shown you? Okay. All right, so moving on to the last multimodal demo, I now want to talk about generating images from text. One thing you will notice throughout my demos today is that when I jump around and I switch topics and I'm asking something new of ChatGPT, I am always triggering a new chat. Now, I am doing that because I am switching topics and I am making new requests of ChatGPT. So, top tip from me today, please make sure that you trigger a new chat every time you are switching requests or changing topic. This just ensures that all of the chats remain very specific and that the answers you get are specific to your request. Great. What I'm going to do now is I am going to ask ChatGPT to create an image that is really creative. So I'm asking for ChatGPT to create a close-up image of an eye with a vibrant landscape or a universe beautifully reflected in the iris. Now, sure, this is not necessarily a business-related prompt, but what I'm trying to show you here is that ChatGPT is also very good at helping to inspire creative activities and tasks. Let's see what ChatGPT generates for us. Sometimes with ChatGPT, you need to wait anywhere from 10 to 20 seconds. And we can see there a very creative, beautiful image of an eye. And I really love this example. It's very simple, but I've been highly specific and I've received an image that quite frankly is incredibly creative. One thing to note, and this is really important, large language models are non-deterministic. So that means models like GPT-4o will not give you the same output twice if you use the same prompt twice. So let me show you exactly what I mean by that. I ran this demo a little bit early on, and you can see that I used exactly the same prompt, but the image that I got back was different. And so you can expect to get really similar style images, but you should not expect to get the same image every time. And so this randomness is actually built into the model. This is a feature, not a bug. So you should expect to see slight differences with every output that gets generated. Great. So what we've just done is we have spent the last 15 minutes looking at GPT-4o and really unpacking the term multimodality. So I really hope that in the last series of demos, you're able to see that you can interact with ChatGPT in different ways. You can upload different input like images. You can talk to ChatGPT. You can get a search of the internet, and that is going to support you with a huge number of use cases. I now want to move on to talk about O1. So when we come back up to the model selector and we click on the drop-down option and we select O1, you will see that that flipped the model and we're now able to engage with O1. But what does that actually mean? So OpenAI's O1 is an advanced reasoning model that has been designed specifically for solving very complex problems with clarity and precision. So unlike GPT-4o, which is pretty responsive, very quick, O1 takes extra time to deliver more thoughtful and detailed responses. And it does this by building a chain of thought, which makes some of its reasoning more transparent and easier to verify. So I want to be quite clear that O1 is going to excel in areas like math, strategy, coding, and logistics, and also scientific problems as well. And so I would really encourage you to think about when you come to ChatGPT, what is the problem or the task in hand? If it's pretty straightforward, everyday business use cases like help me with this writing task or analyze this file, GPT-4o is 9 times out of 10 the best model to use. If, on the other hand, you are working in logistics, operations, strategy, maybe even finance, and you're looking to complete a very complex task that involves figures, percentages, projections, think about maybe testing with O1. But again, to reiterate, 9 times out of 10, GPT-4o is going to work perfectly. So I do just want to make it quite clear that these are two different models and they have been designed to help you as users achieve two different outcomes. What I'm going to do in this demonstration is I'm going to upload a rather complex prompt for a pretty complex scenario, just to show you how different they are. So in this demo, let's imagine that I work for a mid-sized manufacturer and I'm trying to decide between two investments. So one investment is me considering modernizing an assembly line to achieve 20% more output. And the option number 2 is about investing in a digital marketing strategy to help grow sales by 5%. What I am trying to do is I'm trying to get ChatGPT to help me model and predict kind of both of those two scenarios and help me understand the return on investment if I was to choose either one. So let's just take a step back because this is a very real scenario that we do in business all the time. But to actually model these scenarios, it would take multiple humans, multiple days or even weeks to try and predict and plan to identify which scenario they should go with. And so what we're doing is we're leaning on O1 to help us with these projections, to allow us to understand some fallback strategies, but also to help us tackle things like pricing, marketing trends, logistics, and being able to summarize this all in a clear roadmap for leadership. Let me show you exactly what I mean by that. And I'm not going to read this prompt word for word. You can actually grab this prompt in the prompt pack, which you can find in Docs in the webinar itself. Essentially here, I'm kind of talking about who I am, which is I'm a finance manager and I'm working for this manufacturer. I'm looking at these two scenarios and I'm trying to understand which one is best? Which one should we invest in to get a higher ROI? We've then added or been very explicit that the board expects a 15% return on investment within 12 months and requires a fallback plan if these initiatives underperform. I need to deliver a well-reasoned recommendation that addresses these projections, resource allocations, and key risks. Okay, enough of me talking. Let's see what O1 does. Straight away, you'll see that it tells you that it is actually thinking. So O1 has identified that it thought for 11 seconds, and it's now provided a structured recommendation that considers ROI, resource allocation, key risks, and some